Day one of the Villages tour here in Churchstoke. We've knocked on pretty much every door in the village and also just been speaking to people out and about as we've been wandering through. Lots of issues coming up again and again. Bus routes being one, not enough buses travelling through the village. That's something I'm definitely going to take away with me from here. Another issue would be fibre broadband. Some of the newer houses have got it. A lot of the older houses don't have it. Again, that's something that's unacceptable. We've also heard from people who have big concerns about the proposed traveller site here in the village and also housing developments in general. Will the infrastructure, the sewage, the access points to the main roads keep a pace with the growing population? Day two of the Villages tour here in Four Crosses. We started the day at the primary school, Llandesilio Church in Wales School, where I delivered an assembly. It's absolutely fantastic being back in the classroom. From there, we've been around the village. We've had lots of very long conversations with constituents, which means we haven't got around the entire village yet, but we will before the end of the day. We had a fantastic lunch in the local cafe in Llanymynech, village cafe. Absolutely delicious, although I am eating quite a lot of fried breakfasts this week, which maybe is not the best for my health. We are also off to Ardleen for a meeting later on today, and we had a very good meeting in Machynlleth last night, looking at saving Bronglais, the services in the hospital in Aberystwyth, mainly the stroke unit, but also the colorectal unit and other services that are delivered from the hospital there in Ceredigion. Day three of the Villages tour, and I'm here in Llansanfraid. We've knocked on a lot of doors so far, and the biggest thing to come up has been pylons. I've been very clear on this throughout. I've even raised the issue from the floor of the House of Commons. I believe that the cabling should be undergrounded, and that is a position that I will be sticking to consistently. As well as pylons, we've also heard on litter. There's apparently a lot of litter on various footpaths near to the football field, and some of the bins have been moved, which has made it a lot more difficult to deal with. As you can see, I'm now at the top of Llansanfraid. We've just finished leafleting and door knocking pretty much the entire village, which was a good second half to the day. We had a delicious lunch in the Lion Hotel, had a very good catch up with Councillor Glyndŵr Thomas, and we also bumped into some constituents from Llandynam who wanted to speak with us about flood defences, so that was also a good conversation. But the main event that has come up in the second half of today has been bus routes. There were changes made to the timetables which don't seem to have been communicated particularly well, and that has caused a lot of problems, and that's been the main issue. Day four, the penultimate day of our Villages tour. We're here in Glyndŵr. Beautiful weather. We've been blessed this week with the sunny weather that we've had. We didn't do our first meeting of the day in Glyn. We did it in Dollywern, where we met with a constituent who is really concerned about the humanitarian crisis in Gaza. We were in Machynlleth last night, where some children from the West Bank had come to visit Wales as part of a special trip. Heard some quite harrowing stories from them. Round Glyndŵr, the biggest issue by a long way has been the state of the roads. Ceiriog Valley Ward is home to the famous pothole land, and you can even see it in the larger villages. Lots of potholes, white lines on the roads, not always down the middle, and lots of car parking issues as well. But the main issue with the roads has been potholes. We've also heard some stories of motorcyclists going down footpaths on which there are walkers, hikers, so that's obviously an accident waiting to happen. So that's something that really needs to be addressed. And as a bonus for today, my caseworker has been to a coffee morning in Llanfechain about the cancellation of the number 72 bus service, which I talked about in yesterday's video. And just last night, it was announced that it will be reinstated. So I'll be asking for a timeline on that, looking into how the service could be further improved. Tomorrow, I'm going to be off to Pont Robert for the final day of our Villages tour, day 5. Some of the issues that have come up in Pont Robert have been quite similar to the other villages as well. Things like potholes and bus routes, so there's been a consistent theme there. But on the whole, it's been another really positive day, and I've found the experience of getting out and about the villages on this village tour really constructive, really helpful to me in my work as I represent you as your constituency MP. I've thoroughly enjoyed the experience. I've met lots of constituents who I wouldn't have met if I'd just stayed in the big towns. I will definitely be doing another Villages tour the next time we have a week of recess.